Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Celeste with Tarot by Celeste. If you are new here, this channel is geared towards tarot around current events, global events, unsolved cases, mysteries, and really using the tarot to explore the unknown. Please remember that every reading on this channel is for entertainment purposes only. This is not case evidence or hard facts. We also want to be mindful of the way the messages are presented because, good or bad, people have people have others who are connected to them in their journey who have nothing to do with either their choices or whatever we're exploring. So I just want to be mindful in how I come across with the tarot. So what we're going to do today is explore the hot topic of the Sean Diddy Combs case, which I think started on May 25th, or maybe it was earlier. But here's what we know: he's on trial in Manhattan, New York, um, in federal court, facing multiple serious charges. And here's what we know as of today. So, as of today, Sean Diddy Combs is currently on trial in Manhattan federal court, facing multiple serious charges: racketeering conspiracy, ex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, transportation to engage in prostitution. Prosecutors allege that from 2008 to present, Combs led a criminal enterprise that engaged in ex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice, amongst other crimes. So that is what we know so far. Of course, there's a lot more that we know, but that's a general synopsis of what this reading is. So for this reading, we're going to be doing a current event spread. I'm going to be using the typical tarot weight deck. And I also have my Italian Vera Sibilla Italiana Oracle deck, if I need any clarifiers. And at the end, we'll pull out some Oracle messages to see the karmic threads and how this connects into the bigger picture of the world we live in. We're all connected. Everything we do, every choice we make, every inaction or action causes an effect in time, both past, present, and future. And those ripple effects in time affects everyone. Because whether you want to believe it or not, we are all connected. So the collective message will really focus on what are we being asked to reflect on, and how does it connect to the comic thread that connects all of us. So without further ado, we're gonna get started. Um, I have these really interesting incense matches. They're pretty cool, especially if you can't burn incense for a long period of time. I can. I'm just out of incense, so I'm going to be using my incense matchsticks just to clear the energy. Their universe, their angels, and their mighty power, creator of all, please give me the clarity and purify the cards and all the energy in this space to see what we need to see and know the truth as it needs to be told. Thank you. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Universe. And thank you, Almighty. Ooh. All right, so we'll just keep that burning over here. We'll just keep that burning over here. And I usually don't shuffle on camera because I haven't been able to, but now I have a tripod so we can make that happen. So let's shuffle the cards. This is going to be a 7 card spread for the current events, and then we'll do the oracles after. Man, I gotta clear my throat chakra. Maybe they don't want me to talk. Maybe they don't want me to talk. Because why am I clearing my throat so much? Ooh. Uh-oh. Sorry, some cards fell out as I was shuffling. I'm going to shuffle again. Okay, let's see it again. Okay, I'm like trying to position my hand so you all can see me. Ooh, all the smoke is coming towards me. Um, all of the incense smoke is coming towards me, which is purifying and cleansing. So yeah, definitely something is trying to block this message, but in the name of all good forces, that's not gonna happen. Okay, so let's see. Show me the cards, their universe. What is happening in the Sean's Comb case? We will do our 7-card spread. I don't know how I'm going to put the cards down, but we'll just do what feels natural. We'll move this for now. The Almighty, show me and my viewers what is going on in this Sean Diddy Combs case. And if you are an avid tarot watcher and you are a part of this tarot community, not because you read the cards per se, but you like to watch readings or you do read the cards, you may see things in the cards that I may not say, because that happens to me all the time when I watch tarot videos. I see things in the cards that the reader may not say or know in the moment, not because they don't know it, but there's just so many different ways to interpret the tarot. So our first card, you all saw me cut the deck. So our first card is the Justice, and the first card represents the situation, what is happening now, and it's very accurate that the Justice card is the first card to be revealed. Let me see if I can position my camera a little bit better. Okay, this might be better. Oh wait, I think I need to zoom out. There we go. There we go. Okay, that's better. So the first card is the Justice card, and what the Justice card is representing is the first card represents the situation, and that is the current situation. Right now, there is a trial. Right now, I'll just hold it up for now. Right now, there is a trial. Right now, there is government federal involvement, because this also can represent government. There is the case that is actively taking place. This also can represent the judge presiding over the case. This judge is fair, this judge is balanced, and this judge is going to uphold the law to the T. So these attorneys are going to have to really, whether it's a defense attorney or whether it's the prosecuting attorney, they're going to have to present their cases very well, because the judge on the case is only going to uphold the law based on the information presented, which is what all judges do. But this judge is very strict and by the book in that way. I can also see here that not only is this case about this card representing the actual court case that's happening now, this is also representing divine justice. The scales must be balanced. So obviously, what this is telling us is that there's been an injustice, because the only reason why the wheel of time and the angels that blow the horn to kind of decide the judgments of people would even need to balance the scales, because it's been out of balance. So this is not only active, um, so not only an active federal case, this is also divine justice acting and taking place. So that's the first card, the current situation, the current energy. So the second card is the root cause. What led to this? And we may have our own theories, but let's see what the cards have to say. And while we're on the topic, please be mindful in the comments. I am not creating this on my own. I'm just reading to you all what, or interpreting to you all what the cards are telling me. So please, if you have any disagreements about that, please take it up with the universe, take it up with the tarot. I am just sharing the message. So next we have the root cause. What led up to this? Ooh, money. Interesting. Money and opportunities. Hmm. I would really hate to think that okay, so we can look at this in one or two ways, but I really hate to think that some people are, I guess, exposing or coming out about what happened for money, which could be one angle to look at this. Another angle to look at this could be maybe the misuse of money, because money can be a form of power. So it can be, especially with the justice card next to it, it can be suing for money. It could be a misuse of money that was, obviously a gift from above, in a sense, or a gift from the invisible world. Um, if we don't want to kind of say where exactly from the invisible world it came from, but this is a gift from the invisible world that was probably misused and not used for its intended purpose. And that's on a more spiritual level why things are having to be balanced, because it could be an abuse of power. So, and it could be both. It could be both an abuse of monetary power, and it could also be people seeking opportunity to get paid. Um, but definitely, this is a card of, use my crystal ball pointer. Definitely, this is a card of opportunity and receiving money, or an anticipation of money to come. Um, so money could be very heavily influencing, or the root cause of what led to this. People wanting to get paid, and in addition, the misuse of money as power. All right. Our third card is key players. So who or what is influencing this? We might know. Obviously, we know. Well, I don't want to really say names. Even though this name is very public, we know a lot of what initiated this, and this actually could be the root cause. Thinking about it, was when Miss Ventura filed her suit against Diddy, Sean Combs, which at that point alerted and in her case was settled. If we look at it that way, right? She was settled. She was paid out, but the root cause now it's becoming clearer. So that her case pretty much triggered the feds to probe into um, the charges we talked about in terms of racketeering and trafficking, etc., based on the allegations of her lawsuit. That that is what kind of more than anything triggered this event. In addition to all the other things mentioned, but more than anything, that's what triggered this event. The fact that the allegations in her lawsuit, I mean, whether or not he settled with her, which he did end up doing, those allegations were so serious that the government could not ignore them. So the feds did probe, and that is the root cause. The lawsuit is what opened up um, the government's eyes into additional criminal activities, or the criminal activities that took place. Or, yeah, let's put it that way. So, our third card is going to be the key players, as we mentioned. Um, who or what is involved or is influencing this? And we might know some key players. I just mentioned one of them, the most obvious one, but maybe there's other things that we are not aware of at stake in this. So let's see what is here for key players. Oh man, victims. The key players are victims, and many victims. It's not just one. And the fact that what they participated in, willingly or unwillingly, are decisions that are causing them stress, anxiety, sleepless nights. It has definitely, for many, affected their mental health and well being. And they were, I don't want to say terrorized, but almost, or traumatized. That's the right word. They're traumatized by these experiences. So the victims are the key players. Okay, so our next card will be the hidden truth. What is not being revealed? We're going to look at what is not being revealed. Let me just move this up so I can make space because we still have 4 more cards to go. So, what is not being revealed? Ooh, the past. And I can probably pull a clarifier for this, but something from the past, and it's usually like this is like a childhood. It could be in either Miss Ventura's childhood or even in Sean Combs' childhood, but something is not being revealed um, here. I mean, sorry. The hidden truth of what is not being revealed is that there's something from their past that is. that has been a part of why this has all went down. Let's just pull a clarifier now. I was trying to get through all the cards. Wow. 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 Um, it could be abandonment issues. It could be trauma, on both ends, actually. For Miss Ventura and Sean Combs, they look like their childhoods, and maybe it was a trauma bond from what I'm seeing between the both of them. Definitely a trauma bond where they felt isolated, they felt alone. Um, they didn't feel the love that they should have been feeling from their caregivers. Maybe there's a big sense of abandonment. Maybe the parents were there but not emotionally available. Maybe the parents weren't there. I don't really know their life stories, but what's not being seen is that a lot of what occurred between them and what other people got pulled into was connected to their past traumas, and they had a bond. Both Miss Ventura and Diddy, what is unknown, they had a trauma bond between the two of them on things that happened in their past. And maybe these are things that will never be revealed because it's very difficult to talk about our childhoods, especially when they were extremely traumatic, and especially when they create us to be people that, um, how can I say this? When they create us to be people that continue the pain. It's the whole theory of hurt people hurt people. So if a person is hurt and they go out in the world and hurt people, that's a hard thing to face. I mean, we all hear the concept of doing shadow work and how important that is, but it's not easy, and not everyone's willing to look at their dark side and get rid of it. But in a sense, this person who I do think is Miss Ventura is trying to free herself of not only the past, but in her childhood, but all of the things that just was not good for her. I can only imagine what a burden that could be. But definitely past traumas, feelings of isolation or abandonment, not being seen, not feeling loved, and the fact that they trauma bonded over their issues. Wow. And well, right. To add a little bit more, because I do see a little bit more, but I'm not going to get too deep. But just to add a little bit more, specifically with Miss Ventura, she really saw Diddy as being able to protect her and give her something that she was missing and lacking. Is that his fault? Not necessarily. Obviously, it's not good to take advantage of people who are vulnerable. That's just a terrible thing to do. But he himself um, went through a lot. So I'm not saying he didn't know better, but this is how he was just. When we go through bad experiences, we could become a victim. We could be the victim. We could become a victor, or we could become a perpetrator. And some people go down the perpetrating route. Um, but yeah, he offered her a lot of things that she thought was good, and maybe some of it was good, but for the most part, it was just not a good pairing, especially because they were both incredibly unhealed at that time. Okay, moving on to card five, the short term. I need to move this again. It's so annoying. I think I just need to. I think I just need more space. Sorry, just have to move things out of the way. Okay, so you could all still see that clarifier. Boom. All right. So next, which is card number five, the short-term outcome. What is likely to happen next? I'm afraid to look, but what is likely to happen next? The star. I do see hope or maybe healing. Maybe in hindsight, and life is kind of weird in this way. Maybe in hindsight, the short term will bring a sense of healing to everyone. I mean, obviously, Miss Ventura could not take it no more and wanted to free herself of not only what happened with Diddy, but also maybe even things from her childhood that she has not dealt with. And maybe the short term outcome is that Diddy can no longer not look at himself and face his darkness. Like, imagine having to sit there and hear the things that you've done. It's going to force him as a point of reflection, definitely a point of reflection. And look, as much as we may not like someone for what they did, the universe works in mysterious ways. And if the universe hasn't willed for this person to become healed, especially before they cross over into the afterlife, or to be on a path of healing or a journey of healing, that is the universe's work. That's the universe's business. Not for us to involve ourselves in that. We don't know. And I believe that we can all at least relate to the fact that we probably aren't today the people that we used to be. We're probably better, right? But we have to go through some sort of healing journey. But in the short term, there's a big moment of reflection. There's hope for healing to take place because the reflection is happening. Wow. And maybe even an outpouring of emotions, of things that was never shared, that is being unearthed. Ooh, child. I wasn't expecting that. I thought it was going to be something horrific, but this is actually not so bad, depending on what people do. See, the tarot never really predicts the future like people think, because your future depends on your actions. So, whatever choices you make, like I said, when you make a decision, inaction or action, it affects all ripples in time. And based on the ripples in time, it's like cause and effect. What you do today can change your outcome for tomorrow. So that's pretty much how the tarot works. It's like never set in stone, and it's never set in stone because whatever you choose to do today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, can create a new ripple that affects time and space. So the tarot can never really predict the future. It can predict outcomes, potential outcomes, but the future is really predicted based on your outcome, or based on your actions. Sorry. I hope that makes sense. If not, we can talk about it in the comments. All right. Next card is the long term impact. So, what are going to be the lasting effects of this situation? What are going to be the lasting effects? Ooh. Ooh. I'm going to pull a clarifier for this as well. Oh, okay. It's actually better than I thought. But the lasting effects is like this, unfortunately, this drama, this information, everything that's kind of being leaked and exposed and discussed in this matter, it's going to kind of be here to stay. It's not something that is going to be erased from time and history or scrubbed from the internet, especially because you can't really scrub court records, especially federal ones. They're public anyway. Anyone can go online or down to a federal courthouse or any courthouse and request anything that is public record. So this is always going to be something that remains, um, unfortunately. And unfortunately, the fallout is that people are going to feel attacked. People are going to feel blamed for things. And I think the cause for that is because, and this, what do you call it? Hidden truth is kind of telling us why. Not one person was responsible for everything. So, because other people made their own choices, so to speak, it can people can easily feel blamed for either thing because, um, like I said, it's just very clear that one person is not responsible for everything. So I can see why some people involved, and it's just not Sean Combs, some people involved are going to feel blamed, attacked, etc. But this card is really clarifying that this is here to stay. This is always going to be something that's there. It's going to be something that has affected the family, the families involved, because it's not just one family. The families involved are always going to be affected by this, especially because this information is here to stay. It's not going anywhere, and it's, for lack of a better term, very ugly details and information to have out there publicly. Um, so the long term impact is that it's going to be something that affects um, the families and the people involved for the long term. They can never really escape this. It'll always be around them and with them and come up in some sort of way. But if there is a good thing to it, it can also create the opportunity for family bonds to be strengthened. Um, and whether that's families like maybe with Sean Combs and his children, Cassie with her children and her husband, but also with their parents. Their parents have a responsibility in some things from the past. So maybe this is clearing the way for family bonds to be strengthened. There is an opportunity here, but for the most part, it's just unfortunate that the long term effect is that this is not ever going to really go away. You know, when you see and hear these two people, those are the first things that are going to come to mind. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to move on to card number 6, minus the clarifiers. I know the clarifiers are adding more cards, but this card number 6. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going on to card number 7. Okay. So card number 7 will be the karmic thread. So what past life or ancestral influence is there, if there is one? What repeated cycles or lessons are there to be learned? Or what spiritual contracts or agreements, which we can kind of see here? What's you see the karmic thread kind of ties into the karmic thread kind of ties into not only the hidden truth, but it might also tie into our oracle once we get there. But what spiritual contracts or agreements may be the underlying influence of all this? So let's see what it says in terms of the karmic thread. Ooh, queen of water. So when it says past life or ancestral influences, repeated cycles or lessons, or spiritual contracts and agreements, let me pull a clarifier for that too. Yep, I knew it. I shouldn't have even pulled a clarifier because I kind of knew it anyway. I'm sorry to say it, but the mother in both, and it may be more most of the victims, but definitely between Miss Ventura and Sean Combs, the mother issues of the mother, whether there was substance abuse, mental health issues, um, coldness, being cold, um, that's the karmic thread. Something in the ancestral pattern. Definitely sure. Definitely for sure with the Ten of Cups. Something in the family lineage, like how there is what some people will call generational curses. Yeah, there's some impact there. And again, I do see a lot of opportunity here in the karmic thread that once the divine justice and actual earthly justice takes place, it can create an opportunity for things to be better for future generations. Um, wow. But yeah, that's the comic thread. It's like tying the past and the present together. Like in the past, there've always been these tragic, horrific um, traumas, but now is the time, and the divine justice has shown that with the sword to cut it off completely and to begin anew. The families and generations moving forward have axed um, or cut off this pattern. Wow. So it's kind of in a sense breaking a generational curse. I kind of want to know why, but that's not really. Should I be nosy and see why? I don't know. I kind of feel like that's the universe's business. The universe knows why these things have to be cut off, and maybe it's being cut off for something bigger than the people involved, something bigger than this case. Maybe it's more of a universal shift and an era and an age that we're moving into. And as we move into this shift, this era, this age, we cannot bring certain things with us. The old and the negative has to fall off, shed, and go away. And that's kind of my hunch, but I'm not going to get into that. Okay, so now we're going to pull a card for the collective because, again, we're going to use the Psychic Heart Oracle deck. This deals with matters of the heart, so it'll be perfect for this reading. And the reason why we're looking at a collective message on the Sean Diddy Combs case is just because, again, ooh, siren. Siren. Gotta watch your surroundings. Yep, the siren. This is an important message for all, definitely. Because it's something that we all have to be aware of. That we can take from this. Um, that we can take from this in our own way. Yep, something we all have to be aware of. Because again, we're all connected. Every action has a reaction. And let's just see. I gotta move that second shuffle on camera. Let's just see what is this called again? The Psychic Heart Tarot Oracle deck has to say. So, what is the collective message? Ooh, wow, came out. Y'all saw it drop out. The heart chakra. The heart chakra. Let me see if I could work on my lighting. It's daylight, but it's not like sunny. It's been a lot of rainy days here in NYC. Yeah, but even when I put on the ring light, it's still not helpful. But I'll just try anyway. Let's just try anyway. Oh, it's blocking the camera. Let me try right here. Okay. Um. The oh oh Lord. Yeah. Um. Let me see. Maybe I could just hold it with his hand. Okay. The heart chakra is what's here, and it looks like the collective message for all of us is healing our heart spaces. When we experience when we experience traumas, past, present, or future, when we experience loss, when we experience breakups or divorces, or even the death of a loved one, or anything unexpected, you lost your home, you lost your job, you had a car accident, you felt betrayed by a best friend, whatever it is that we experience that affects us in our heart space, we have to do the work to heal our chakra and to release that pain and to release that betrayal and to seek towards forgiveness and understanding in the sense of you're not going to be a doormat and let people take advantage of you. However, you know that people who do not so good things are operating from a low vibrational space. And once you can acknowledge that and let go in a sense, not forget and be naive and get hurt again. But once you can let go of the betrayal because they're not really doing anything to you, they're just being who they are at the level they're at. So once you can let go of that and really work on healing your heart space, um, that is a message to all of us. The collective message is the heart chakra. We have to work on our own healing and releasing the things that we feel people have done to us. Yes, we were the victim of circumstance or happenstance or a victim of our good qualities sometimes, but really people are not really doing things to us as much as they are just being themselves and we just didn't see who they were. So we have to work on our heart spaces. And that is a collective message. Thank you for joining me. I'll be back. I actually have a schedule now because I really had to think about what I was doing with this channel, which is why I disappeared for a bit. But I do have a schedule of how we will proceed with different topics throughout the week. So thank you all so much for your time. I hope to see you next time. Peace, love, and blessings to you all. And catch you at the next video. Oh yeah, if you do like this video, please like, subscribe, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. The likes are free, so please do that as well. And again, until next time, thank you.